Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's talk about Pokemon Horizons. Yeah, that series. Pokemon Horizons debuted in April of 2023. So, as of right now, the series has been out and airing for roughly 8 months at this point, and 34 episodes have aired as of the recording of this video. So, needless to say, I think Horizons has been a very interesting series so far. It is very much different and distinct from the prior iteration of the Pokemon anime, for better or for worse. Now, some people do like the series. I happen to enjoy the series, though there's some people that don't care for the series, or there is a couple of issues they have with the series. So I figured I'd make this video and talk about some things that I'd like to see in Pokemon Horizons that I think could improve the series. Now, I'm going to probably start talking about things that are more likely to happen, and then as the video goes on, we'll probably talk about some things that are probably less likely to happen, but things that I definitely would like to see happen. But either way, let's talk about it. Now, real quick, I just want to say, if you're someone that's brand new to this channel and you like this type of content, it'd be really cool if you sub to the channel, like the video, shared the video, and all that good stuff. Anyways, let's get back to the video now. Now, first thing I want to talk about is Liko and Roy getting stronger, whether it is through evolutions of their Pokemon in their current roster, or just catching new Pokemon. Now, we are 34 episodes in the Pokemon Horizons, and I have to say I'm kind of unimpressed with Liko and Roy as trainers. They both have 2 Pokemon each. And in Liko's case, she only really uses Sprigatito. Hatena basically just senses emotions and doesn't really battle, which I kind of am disappointed with. I'm hoping that maybe one day it ends up battling, and that's how it inevitably evolves. But as of right now, their team is kind of weak, and they're constantly going up against opponents that are way stronger than them, except for the grunts of the explorers, like Konya and Zerk. They seem to handle them just fine, but anyone else like a Metheo or Spinel or any of the other admins, they don't really stand much of a chance, really. Now, there was that moment in episode 16 where they stood up to Spinel, but they still technically weren't a match for him. But yeah, ignoring that moment, they're still very newbie trainers, and I get it. They're not exactly trying to be like super strong like Ash and being like the very best that no one ever was. So, I'm not expecting them to get super strong, but at the same time, when they're going up against all these opponents that are really powerful, I expect them to, grow to the point where they can stand up on their own. Because what's the point of them growing as trainers and, trying to accomplish their goals if they're just too weak to accomplish them? Like, give them more Pokemon. Have their Pokemon evolve. You don't need to rush it. But we're 34 episodes in, and I think it's time that one of their Pokemon evolves. Personally, I think Sprigatito is up first, since it is the first Pokemon we've seen here in Fuecoco. Still probably has a little bit more to go, although it has been getting stronger and learning new moves. It might take a little bit of time, but I still want to see the little guy evolve. Even though I like Fuecoco a lot, I think it's getting time. Getting to that point where it's going to need to evolve and get stronger. Especially since Roy wants to fight Rayquaza. And considering Amicio got bodied hard by Rayquaza in episode 33, and he was trying to face off against Rayquaza, yeah, Roy, I think you need to step your game up quite a bit. So, yes, I want to see Liko and Roy get stronger in 2024. I want them to get new Pokemon. I want their Pokemon to evolve, and yeah, hopefully it happens sooner than later. Hi, this is actually Mitchell from the future. As I was editing this video, I actually realized there is actually one other thing I left out in this section. Besides getting more Pokemon and evolving their Pokemon, can we get Liko and Roy Terra Orbs? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. It would definitely help with their development, make them stronger, and yeah, it would be cool to see. I'd like to see their Pokemon terrestrialize. So yeah, hopefully that happens in 2024. Now, this actually segues into the next thing I want to see in 2024 for Pokemon Horizons, in that I want to see Freed saving Liko and Roy a lot less compared to what we've seen in the early stages of this series. Now look, in the beginning, it makes total sense for Freed to step in and save Liko and Roy. Specifically Liko in the beginning, since the Rising Volt tacklers were hired by Liko's mother to protect her. So it makes sense that Freed's there to protect her and help her out. She's still very much a newbie trainer and she's not super powerful. However, we don't need Freed doing this all the time because it's getting kind of old. In the beginning it was fine, but as Liko and Roy are, getting stronger and catching new Pokemon, it kind of becomes an issue when they're getting bailed up by Freed all the time. Like, it just gets kind of annoying because it's like, we want to see them grow, but Freed constantly jumping in and saving them with Captain Pikachu or Charizard, it just gets annoying after a while. Like, again, we are 34 episodes in and they are still being protected constantly by Freed. So I really want to see something change within the series, whereas Liko and Roy are becoming stronger and they don't need Freed constantly. Additionally, I think we are going to get to a point where Freed is actually going to need Liko and Roy's help, whereas he's going to be in a situation where he might actually end up getting defeated by somebody or someone. And I think that's the point where Liko and Roy really need to step up and realize that they can't rely on Freed all the time. And then they end up protecting him. It'd actually be kind of poetic since he's been basically protecting them this whole time. And they eventually step up and they become strong enough and they protect him. So in 2024, I kind of want to see Captain Pikachu, Charizard, and Freed protecting Liko and Roy less. Maybe here and there, obviously, if they're like off guard or something like that. But yeah, let's hope that Freed isn't like constantly saving the day, because after a while it just like gets annoying because he's just stealing the show from them, and they're the main characters and we want to see them grow, but them being protected all the time is going to make them just stagnate as characters and stagnate their growth as characters as well. And next up, I actually want to see Roy get a more focused goal in 2024. Now, what I mean is I think that Roy needs a smaller scale goal for the time being, because his goal of capturing Rayquaza is way too high. That's as high as Go wanting to capture Mew from the previous series. Yeah, it's not going to happen easily, and as we saw in episode 33, Roy, you're not even like close to being able to battle Rayquaza and capture it, considering Amicio is stronger than you. And look what happened to him. He got completely bodied by Rayquaza. So Roy, Rayquaza could have just flicked Boy Coco, and that would have been it. So yeah, I think that Roy needs to come up with something. In fact, I'm kind of getting a little annoyed with him, because like he really is not thinking things through. And I think he needs to become more level-headed in the future. Now, something that I thought would be pretty interesting is that we've trained with 2 gym leaders at this time, Brassius and Kabu. I'm thinking maybe it'd be pretty cool if Roy decides to train with other gym leaders in various different regions. And then as a result of that training, he gets stronger and learns various different things, and his Pokemon get stronger with each training session. I know this is something that people might not like because it could be rinse and repeat, but I think it could be kind of interesting, and maybe Roy ends up beating one of the gym leaders. I mean, they could give him a badge, but I just think it would be pretty interesting for him to train with various different strong trainers around the world. And it allows him to get stronger and gain strength, eventually allowing him to overcome that wall and face up against Rayquaza eventually. Because as of right now, he is, it's not going to happen at the current rate he's going. He's like absolutely no match for it. He doesn't have a lot of Pokemon. He's only got 2 on his roster, and they're unevolved and they're not very powerful. So yeah, Roy, let's focus on smaller goals and then work your way up. Next up, I'd like some Explorer development. Now, this is actually pretty interesting because we are already starting to see some Explorer development as of episode 34, as Amicio got a Terra Orb. And then we have Spinel and Agate seemingly plotting to capture Rayquaza from themselves, seemingly going up against Amicio. So this already tells me that there's going to be some interesting developments for the Explorers in the near future. We might even get some conflicts among them. So I think that that's really interesting, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. But besides that, I'd like to get some other developments. We got other members that I'd like to see a little bit more as well. Not to mention Konya and Zerk. So I'd maybe like an episode where we're dedicated solely to the explorers. We get to see their personalities and kind of just what they think about certain things. Like, when we're heading off to the next region, you know, instead of focusing on Liko and the others hanging out on the ship, maybe they just, like, appear periodically in the episode, like, here and there. But the primary focus of the episode is on the explorers and the explorers alone. I think that that would actually be an interesting episode. It would help develop the explorers, give them more of a personality, and actually make us care for them. Because I'm going to be completely honest, the explorers have been kind of underwhelming. Spinel is probably my favorite one, but the other ones, they're okay. As a replacement for Team Rocket, I'm not sure how I feel. They lack the personality that Team Rocket had, but they're definitely more serious than Team Rocket. I just want some more development so that I can care for these characters and actually think they're pretty cool. So if we could get some more screen time with them, that would be great. I'd actually be up for something like that. Again, if we're heading to the next region, instead of having an episode where Liko and Roy are messing around on the ship, we can get an episode dedicated to the explorers. I think that would be pretty cool. Now, next up, I'd like to see some more Paldea focus and some DLC locations from the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video games. Now, I gotta say, it's actually pretty funny that when I start jotting down ideas for these videos, something that I come up with or something that I want for 2024 actually ends up happening because, yeah, we actually are getting some more Paldea in 2024 immediately. As of episode 35, we're heading back to Paldea. So we're gonna be there for probably a little while again. So I got my wish there. However, for the other part, we have DLC locations that were introduced in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. The Land of Kitakami and the Blueberry Academy in the Unova region. And I'm just going to say this right now, since the game showed off these new areas, I want to see the anime do the same. I don't want a Journey situation where we only get a little bit of Crown Tundra and no Isle of Armor. And we're also missing characters from the DLC as well, and they never appeared in the series, which I thought was very disappointing because I thought that there was potential for some characters introduced in the DLC to appear in the series, and they never came to the series, and that's very disappointing. So let's not have that happen again. I mean, they don't need to be like the main focus or anything, but like we got some interesting characters that are introduced in the DLC, and I don't want to see them go to waste again. Please. I already like Carmine, and Kieran's alright, but I want to see them in the series, okay? I think they could add some stuff to the series, and, you know, it'd be interesting to see their interactions with Liko and Roy. But I just want to see the DLC locations and actually see them represented in Pokemon Horizons. I don't want to go through this again. If the series doesn't do anything with the DLC locations or characters, I'm gonna be very disappointed again, and that's going to subtract some points from my ultimate score for this series. So hopefully they actually don't ignore this and actually show off these characters at some point within the series. I mean, considering that Terapagos is the hidden treasure of Area Zero. I know that the anime and the games are telling different stories with Terapagos, but yeah, can we just please connect it in some way? Just please. I don't know how, I don't know when, and how they're gonna do it, but yes, let's just include the DLC locations and some of the characters, please. And thanks. That's all I gotta say for this one. Okay, I wanted to mention this one because it's probably unlikely, but it's something that I would like to see. I think it would be pretty cool if Liko and Roy have rivals that push them to become stronger. Now, I'm putting this at the end here rather than in the Liko and Roy getting stronger in 2024 section, just because I don't see this happening. It's just something that I think would be pretty cool and I would like to see, just not expecting it with how the series is structured. But I think rivals would be cool for Liko and Roy. I think it would work out and help push them to become stronger. Now, when it comes to actual rival candidates for both of them, I was thinking for Liko, I came up with two. Now, the first one obviously is dependent on the fact that Anne is part of the Explorers. It would be Anne, Liko's friend, and if she turns out to be an Explorer, I think that she could actually be a pretty interesting rival for Liko. Considering Liko battled her at the beginning of the series and she lost, and she's already pledged that she wants to become a strong trainer. So, it would be a pretty interesting. They have a pretty interesting dynamic. You know, Liko's more shy, introverted, and Anne's more outgoing. And I think that this could potentially be pretty interesting. That's if we get the whole Anne is part of the Explorers. It kind of hinges on that. But it could be interesting. Liko maybe could work to get stronger so that she could, change Anne's mind and turn her over to the good side, so to say. So that could be potentially interesting. Another one could be Penny, which I'm not really certain if that could be possible, because Penny could work as a rival for either Liko or Dot, considering their personalities. So I would put this as kind of unlikely. That's if Penny is introduced in the series. I hope she's introduced. I'd like to see the rivals introduced in Horizons. But anyways, for Roy, I wouldn't be surprised if Kieran ends up being like a rival for him, considering how much focus Kieran got in the DLC. And it'd be pretty interesting considering Roy's personality versus Kieran's personality. I don't know. I think it would actually kind of be funny. And then we see Kieran go through his edgelord phase. I don't know. It would be kind of interesting, and that's if we go the route of have introducing those characters and the DLC locations, which totally should happen. Just gonna say that. It totally should happen. So, it would be pretty cool, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to get rivals for these characters. It would be cool. I would like it, but it's less likely to happen. But I thought I'd throw it out there to see what you guys thought. Do you think that Liko and Roy should have rivals? And do you think it could work in the series? And who do you think should be their rivals? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, guys. And that's pretty much all I got. This video actually turned out to be longer than I was expecting it to be, but I came up with some interesting ideas and some things that I would like to see happen in 2024 for this series. I'm enjoying the series, but I can acknowledge that the series has some flaws and has a couple of issues here and there that I think if they implement some of these changes or some other ones to make the series better, I think that things could turn around. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues with the series, so hopefully they implement some changes here and there or make Liko and Roy progress a little bit more. That way the series is more engaging and improves. And we get to see our two main characters grow as trainers and develop quite a bit. But I'm curious to see what happens in 2024 for this series. And I hope you guys stick around because I want to keep talking about the Pokemon Horizons series. So yeah, you should totally sub to the channel if you're new. Like the video, watch the video as long as you can. Obviously, this is the end of the video, so yeah, you've probably watched it for a little bit at this point if you're listening to me still. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got. I'm rambling now, so yeah, let's bring this video to a close. So anyways, guys, post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have a great day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you all later. Happy New Year. Hope 2024 goes well for you guys. Oh, and bye.